Hello, Kurt Jackson, retirement income strategist with KJ Financial here with this week's installment of Your Money Matters. If you follow these video blogs, you know that there's a lot of talk about a lot of different topics that impact you and your loved ones. Throughout the series, I don't know, I guess we've been a little reserved in what we talk about here, and that's going to change. Almost all the people that we talk with have asked us to stop sugarcoating things and to be brutally honest with them about the topics that we address here. Most of the folks that we talked with had no idea of the severity of the issues, and they want to know what's going on most of all. And then they want to know what they can do to make their lives better and make the lives of their loved ones better. So we're going to try to adjust our theme some and do more of that. See, what we found is that there's no bad news and there's no good news, right? There's only news. The news becomes good or bad depending on whether you've planned for that type of news, which it would then be good news because you're in a position to take advantage of it, or it becomes bad news because you hadn't planned for it. So which position would you prefer to be in? One where you planned for it and it became good news, or one where you didn't plan for it and it became bad news? Right? Have you thought about how the impact of increasing costs of healthcare insurance is going to impact the lives of your kids and your grandkids? Have you heard that the premiums for the lower health plans are increasing by an average of 10 or 20 or 30%? Were you aware that the average deductibles for these plans are going to increase to $5,653 per year? So doesn't that mean that families are going to pay up to $10,000 or more before they receive 1 cent of coverage? Did you know that premiums for the silver plan, the second one up from the bottom, it goes bronze and then silver, are seeing a 7.5% average premium increase. And in some areas, the deductibles, which are supposed to be lower than the bronze plans, are actually approaching the levels of the bronze plans. Do you realize that with these average growth rates, healthcare costs are going to be doubling every 6 to 10 to 12 years? Were you aware that the average cost for a family for health insurance is almost $25,000? Obamacare has planned for 6% increases inside their plan. Doesn't that mean premiums are going to double every 12 years? If that's the case, doesn't that mean that we'll be going from 25,000 to 50,000 in annual premiums in just 12 years? And doesn't that also mean that we're going to hit $75,000 in just 18 years? How will we afford that? Would it surprise you to know that incomes, when we've adjusted them for inflation, they haven't increased in more than 25 years? Would it make it worse to find out that the inflation numbers used by the government does not use the increasing costs of healthcare in their calculations, nor does it use the increasing costs of food and energy in their calculations? Doesn't that sound like the government is manipulating the numbers to try to make things look better? Did you know that the Social Security Administration says that 75% of Americans make less than $50,000 a year, and 86% of Americans make less than $75,000 a year? So wouldn't that mean in 12 years that 75% of Americans couldn't even pay for their health insurance? And in 18 years, 86% won't be able to pay their health insurance premiums. What does that mean to you, to your kids, and your grandkids? And if you don't have grandkids yet, if you have kids, chances are probably pretty good you're going to eventually have grandkids. So imagine this. Imagine you're in heaven and you're looking down on your loved ones, and your granddaughter or your grandson has a terrible disease. And if they're able to get the best health care, they'll fully recover. But if they can't afford or have access to that health care, they're going to grow up with a chronic problem and probably significantly reduce their life expectancy. So if there was something that you could do now to help make sure that in the future your kids and your grandkids would have the resources to handle the increasing costs of important things like healthcare, shelter, food, education, would you want to know about it, or are you going to keep going the way you are? If you have money that you don't expect to use in retirement, and there was a way that you could make sure it was as much as doubled, tripled, or even quadrupled, would maybe even more than that, would that help your family? If you don't have extra money to do that, but you could maybe take a small portion of your income and buy that type of financial protection for your loved ones, would that help your family? What if you could take the money that you're normally going to leave to the government, the hospitals, and nursing care facilities when you pass away, but instead you could leave it to your kids? And in the meantime, you could maintain 100% control of it while you're living and actually set it up to control that money from the grave. Would you want to know how you could do that for you and your family? The bottom line of all this is if there's any way on earth that you could take what you have, find the most efficient and smartest ways to make sure it gives you what you need in retirement and provides a big financial boost to helping your kids and your grandkids enjoy their lives even after you're gone, would you want to give that gift to them? If your answer is yes, does your current plan provide all of that? Does it provide you with a written plan based on guarantees that it's going to happen, or is it built on just hoping that it'll happen? If it doesn't, is it worth your time to explore ways that you can make sure that your plan does give those things? If the sooner you got started meant the better your chance of success, when would you want to get started? Now remember, you watched this video knowing that we were going to be brutally honest, right? Well, is this something that you've addressed with your current advisor or retirement plan administrator? Is this something that you've done on your own? Or have you, whoever you've worked with in helping you, giving you financial advice, have you done something with them to figure out how this is going to work for you? If you haven't done that by now, what makes you think they or you ever will? Okay. If the sooner you got started, the more you'd have, then why haven't you already started? Shouldn't you have planned for this since the beginning? So when you're ready to wake up and take control of your financial life and the financial future of your loved ones, then you call me on my direct line at 816-582-5532. That's 816-582-5532. Look, don't email me, don't write me. Pick up the phone and call me. We're being brutally honest here right now, right? We got to stop wasting time, right? Because the time you waste means less resources for your family, or it's going to take more of your resources to give them those resources. The world's a scary place. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But those that have planned for the unexpected are the ones that are going to come out okay. Which group do you want to be in? So if you found value in in this installment of Your Money Matters, please share it with your friends, your family, your coworkers, anyone that you care about. We're really going to try to step up our game and I don't know, kind of start pounding it in on you a little bit more. I'm going to be a little bit more forceful, a little meaner, maybe. I don't know. I just we keep seeing these things, and the situation does not appear to be getting any better whatsoever. So we want to make sure that you're aware of things, and then it's going to be up to you whether or not you're going to do something about it. If you decide not to, that's up to you. At least you will have known that there were other options that you could have used, as opposed to going through life, I don't know, kind of blindly like most of us are doing now. Because my guess is 95, 96, maybe 97% of you had no idea these things exist, that you could do these things. So thanks for tuning in. Stick with us. We're probably going to be a little spotty over the holidays on getting these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one out each week. I've got to. I'm taking a test to get my Series 65, so I'm going to be kind of not doing all the things that I normally do for the next few weeks, so I can get that studied for and get that passed, and then I'll be able to even bring more services more benefits to my clients. So, but feel free to give me a holler if you need anything. I know the holidays are kind of a time when things slow down a little bit for us. Hey, if you think about it during the holidays, try to have some conversations with your family about these types of things. See if they're aware of it. If your parents are still with us, especially if they've got money or good resources, would they be interested in making them multiply to leave more for you, your kids, and then which are their grandkids, and then your grandkids, their great grandkids. So the earlier we can get started on these things, the more money that we can, the more resources we can establish for those types of things going forward. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you, if I don't talk to you before, hope you have a great Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas.